Also right now at 4:30, miscommunication turns into a misunderstanding. Two city leaders settled their debate over red marking vacant properties.
Yeah, we first brought you this story last week when Alderman Robert Bauman spoke out against the practice by the Milwaukee Fire Department.
Lauren Winfrey has the details.
The placarding program explained. Today, the fire department went before a committee right here at City Hall. They said they wanted to let them know that their marking of vacant buildings is all about firefighter safety. With a show of disapproval.
And all I got was this. That is not answering all questions.
Alderman Robert Bauman didn't hold back when expressing his concerns about how the Milwaukee Fire Department rolled out its vacant building placarding program. Bauman represents downtown and the near west sides.
What are we, chopped liver? Not being in the loop on this?
Fire officials report departments all across the country put plywood markers on abandoned properties. The goal is to let firefighters know of any immediate hazards.
If it's an issue, shame on me for not being on top of it in 2011, 12, 13, 14. I'll make that apology.
Fire officials say there are more than 3,500 vacant properties in the city. Of those, 428 are on the demolition list. 178 of those properties have placards and 29 of those have X marks, which indicate extreme hazard. In those cases, a firefighter should only enter to save a life. Fire Chief Mark Rolfling says the controversy over the program simply amounts to a lapse in communication. What led to the breakdown in communication between you all and council?
You know, I think it's just communication in general, maybe not enough questions. You know, like I told the alderman, I'll certainly take my share of the blame where we didn't share this as robustly as we should.
And all's well that ends well. The next step is possibly creating an ordinance surrounding all of this. Reporting outside of City Hall, Lauren Winfrey, today's TMJ4.
Thank you, Lauren. Storm Team 4 weather now. We do have a taste of fall out there.
Certainly noticed it this morning with temperatures, I think, in the low 50s.
Yeah, like your house normally is in the wintertime. So you're used to
Are you calling him cheap?
No, he just likes it
Again?
crisp. No, he likes it crisp. I love this weather. The morning temperatures, in the 40s and 50s, might be a little bit of a shock to many of you because it was just 90 last week, and now we've taken this major turn. But summer's not done just yet. Currently, we're in the 60s, still 70 in Burlington and Hartford. Current temperature Milwaukee 71. Dew point has jumped up just a little bit into the lower 60s because of that northeasterly breeze coming off the water, just adding a little bit of moisture. No clouds hardly, no rain, and this is day 4 now of no rain, and we will continue that streak for the next couple of days. The wind this evening will go calm. We'll drop into the lower 60s by 10 o'clock, and by morning, another nice comfortable one at 56 degrees. When is the next chance of rain? We'll talk about that coming up.
Okay, we'll see you shortly. Thank you, Brian.
Major developments in the case involving a Dallas police officer who shot and killed a man in his own apartment.
Officer Amber Geiger was arrested on manslaughter charges yesterday, but now the district attorney says she's taking the case to the grand jury.
NBC's Dan Sheneman reports.
And believe me, we will make certain that justice is done in this case.
The Dallas County District Attorney says manslaughter charges against Dallas police officer Amber Geiger may not be the final word.
The Texas Rangers made the decision to issue an arrest warrant for manslaughter. The ultimate decision in terms of what this charge will be presented to the grand jury.
Officer Geiger is free on $300,000 bond after turning herself in to authorities. She is charged in the shooting death of her neighbor, 26-year-old Botham Jean, after she says she mistook his apartment for her own. Police say it's not clear what the interaction was between her and the victim. Then at some point, she fired her weapon, striking the victim.
Why was she so quick to rely on deadly force is a great mystery to us.
Much about the case remains clouded in uncertainty as the victim's family demands answers.
I'm not satisfied that we have all the answers. And the number one answer that I want is what happened.
The Dallas Police Department asked the Texas Rangers to investigate in order to provide transparency. Their investigation continues in addition to the district attorney's office. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Back here at home as we get ready for what could be a new state-of-the-art Amazon distribution center in Oak Creek. A very similar project in North Carolina gives us a hint on what to expect. Our partners at the Milwaukee Business Journal report the same developer is working on both projects. The confirmed Amazon project in North Carolina is called Project Axis. The one in Oak Creek is called Project Arrow. We should find out if city officials okay the plans later this month. For your money this afternoon, let's check out the numbers on Wall Street on this Monday. The Dow finished down 59, but the NASDAQ was up 22 and the S&P 500 up 5.
The Federal Trade Commission is about to implement a new measure to safeguard our credit. Americans will be able to contact any of the 3 major credit reporting agencies to freeze or unfreeze their credit files. A freeze will lock your credit file immediately, and that will make it more difficult for identity thieves to open up new credit accounts in your name. Well, Disney has a new app that will help guests who have to wait in those long lines at their favorite attractions and rides. It's called Play Disney Parks. Visitors can download the mobile app and play games. They're interactive, and they will have Disney stories and characters and bring them to life. They're for 2 players.
Les Moonves is out as CEO of CBS following allegations of sexual misconduct that span decades. After new claims emerged in the New Yorker yesterday, sources told CNBC that Moonves would no longer receive severance compensation. The Viacom-CBS merger now off the table for at least 2 years. The $5 footlong is a favorite at Subway, but soon the signature 12-inch deal may not be available. The change takes effect this month. Now, the $5 footlong had been off the menu for years when Subway gave it a second life last winter. The chain is pushing franchise owners to experiment with their own value deals.
Well, are you capable of making decisions on your home? Do you need your husband, your wife, your dad, or mom to be with you?
One woman is furious with the company's new policy. John Matarese has that story, so you don't waste your money.
Remember the old days when a car dealer or salesman would insist on talking to the man of the house? Back in the 1950s, the husband needed to make the big decisions. Well, one woman is asking, why is that still happening today?
Here's the story of a lovely lady.
Today's women have come a long way since Carol Brady and June Cleaver.
Dear, this coffee's cold.
I don't know why. So it all just came in and you can see where there's stains.
Joya Franks is a modern woman who says she's perfectly capable of dealing with a water leak.
My husband is gone right now, so I was trying to get it taken care of.
So Joya called to get an estimate for a professional waterproofing, but she couldn't believe when the sales rep said her husband needed to be home.
They needed all property owners at the estimate, and I said, well, I can't have that happen. My husband is helping fight the wildfires, and he won't be able to be here.
Yes, her husband was in the California wildfires and could not come home for the meeting.
I was offended. I was angry.
Turns out there's a reason for this somewhat unpopular policy, and it has nothing to do with sexism. Rather, the company says they just don't want to have to make the same hour-and-a-half presentation twice. The company's general manager told us by phone, we request that both homeowners be present for our inspection and estimate because it takes almost 2 hours and we do not charge any fee. He says even in cases where a husband is home, they still want the wife there as well. Joya says she understands, but she is not June Cleaver.
Really need it to be fixed, and I don't think that my husband should have to be here.
Companies who have this policy say it's not sexist. If the wife's working, they don't want to do the presentation just for the husband. But for busy couples, it can be aggravating, and some say a case of don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese, today's TMJ4.
It doesn't seem like a good policy to me.
Yeah, and
I think one would be enough.
Yeah, and usually my wife is the better person to be talking to on these things.
Yeah, sometimes we can bargain a harder deal than the men.
And she understands it better too.
That's a good point. Well, for